You're listening to My Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more My Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at My Grito, the My Grito Podcast Network.
The Mind Buzz, now partnered with My Grito Industries.
The Mind
Come on, dude. No, you wasted. You wasted all the good intros.
We rehearsed and
how many times did we rehearse this? Amber.
It goes to show that everything is done live.
Yeah, that's true. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another podcast episode. What's up, Mind Buzz Universe? Welcome back to another podcast episode of the Mind Buzz. I am Gil, your host, and working right here on the right of me, working the ones, twos, and sometimes the... What? I was going to say sixes because that's your favorite number.
Okay.
Sometimes the sixes. Maybe 3 in a row. We don't know. But Amber, right here. What's up? What's up with the camera?
I forgot I'm not number 2.
You're number 3.
What the heck is going on with me today?
You need to stop that.
You took my mojo from
How?
all the rehearsals.
I did.
I'm ready. I'm just ready to. I get here and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
No rehearsing. Rehearsing throws me off. Okay, I'm here.
There you go. There she is.
I'm in a better mood today.
You are. You are. I'm excited. We got an Amber Cam finally. The people have spoke.
I was gonna say something TMI, but never mind.
Javier Savine has spoken, and yes, we will give him the credit.
I blame him. I blame you
for the Amber Cam. He started the revolution. But what's up? What was the TMI?
Nothing. Because you're like, oh, you're in a better mood. And then I was like, yeah, you try bleeding from your arm. Just kidding. That was my TMI.
All right. Alrighty.
You asked.
Okie dokie. Not in front of our first guest back.
So well.
Hey, you gotta shoot your shot, right?
I gotta shoot my shot.
You gotta shoot your shot.
I gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited for our first guest back. We haven't done this in a very long time, so he was bearing with us at the beginning of this, but I'm excited to talk to our next guest. He's a stand-up comedian. We met him at the Puro Laughs, not podcast, but Puro Laughs open mic. We did a couple of shows together. He runs his own show in Long Beach, and we're going to hear all about it. These days, he's advocating for his community. He's advocating for the community, which is awesome. We're going to hear all about that. Please give it up for Jerry Hernandez.
Hey, what's
Thanks,
up?
man.
How's it going? How's it going, guys?
Jerry, thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is awesome. We were talking about the good old stand-up community and jokes.
I love that shit. It's always interesting to hear what's going on.
So what we were talking about, I guess slurs and bad things, right? Like racial things. Okay, this is my theory. There is space and there is room for maybe a slur or two, but it needs to be smart. Like the setup needs to be smart, and it just can't be flat out saying the slur for shock value.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's like with almost any type of material. Like, what's the thought behind it?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, shit can be funny, but like once you start like just trying to do shit for shock, it has its moments, but then it loses its effect after a while.
Yeah. I've read a few books on stand up, and I just I just ordered a couple more. So if you see it Amazon,
Why'd you look at me?
I'm just telling you. I'm just forewarning you. I ordered 2 books on. I'm a nerd, dude. I'm a nerd. I read about stand up and I kind of like cherry pick what kind of will work, will not work. I don't know. I'm a how do you say it? Like not a nerd, but I'm very neurotic.
Well, you were telling me you were a lurker at
Yeah.
open mics for a long time. So
I'm a lurker too. Peeping Tom of comedy.
He needs like, if we go somewhere or we go out or anything, he needs to know details like who's gonna be there, what's on the menu, where is it at, do we know where we're gonna sit? Like, I'm not kidding.
does he have you like draw a little layout of the restaurant? He's like, this is what it looks like, here's the exit.
Almost
Almost there.
And then I'll tell him, and then like the next day he'll be like, so like he'll ask me again, and I'm like, oh, just go.
Do you drive by the location after and like check it out? Like, you're like a mafia boss. Dude.
Yeah,
like, that's
pretty
like
much
mafia boss shit.
Exactly. Like even last night, we did that thing last night in Downey. I was 4 minutes away, and I was like, okay, I can still have dinner and make my exit. I even told Amber, I was like, so what's my exit strategy here? Because it was her friend's birthday party.
I'm sorry.
Dinner. No, dude, don't even worry about it.
No, it's fine.
No, it's all good. Thank you. For getting
Oh, okay. Like, it got you out of there earlier. You're like, hey, I'm going to go do comedy in a backyard.
It was supposed to be like friends and their husbands. And then Gil, like, he never comes with me, like, ever. And I'm okay with that because, I'm like, okay, he does this thing. And then I go with my friends because we're always together.
Yeah.
And yesterday, like, for the first time, he's like, yeah, I'll go. And I was like, oh. And it was supposed to be like other husbands and things like that. And when we get there, no one's husband's there. Oh. And it was just him. And I was like, tough luck.
Oh, that actually worked out perfect. Then.
It worked out yeah.
Then that comedy show. I have to go do comedy, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Like, I would love to hang out with you ladies tonight, but,
honestly,
I gotta tell jokes.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't have said I'm gonna go do comedy until like the birthday girl asked me where I was going. Because I went to the restroom and then I came back and I was like standing. I was like stretching a little bit, getting my jacket, and I asked Amber. I was like, "So how do I leave? Like where? Like I know how to leave, but do I tell them I'm leaving? Should I just disappear?"
You're gonna Irish goodbye her friends? Like,
I was
on her birthday.
Yeah.
I went to the restroom and then I heard a better party and I just walked over there. It was 4 minutes away.
For the most part, but it got me out of there. So
hey, like a comedy saves lives. I mean, sometimes you hear slurs, but sometimes it saves you.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if it's smart, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion.
Well,
there can be.
I feel like the best example are guys like Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh yeah,
and like people that they do like dark material, but it's well written. There's a point of view behind it. Like it's not just somebody going up there and saying shit to like shock the audience. Because I feel like newer comics mostly do that because they don't have the experience yet. When you first start telling jokes to strangers versus your own friends, you're used to just telling people like that shit. And I don't know if like most people have that thing where like they're like sometimes you bomb in front of strangers, you tell a joke like and people like in a friend setting and it just doesn't land and they look at you all weird the rest of the time. But in stand up it's like that. It's like that magnified though, because you say something fucking weird, they don't know. There's no context behind who you are. They're not like, oh, that's Gil. He's like sometimes he just leaves. He doesn't come to the parties often. But there's...
Yeah, I think that's something that you kind of like build over time, right? Like knowing what to say. And then that too, you have to, you don't know what your point of view is. You just know that that's a shocking thing to say. Like there's no, the joke for you as a new comic writing, right? Like take for instance, me, I had most of like my material at the beginning was all like trash and very like talking shit and making fun of my family and my uncle and my sister. Like half of that stuff I don't even use anymore. Like I had this meth joke about my sister and like and her being fat and I don't use that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a certain point where I was like, you know what, Amber, I don't want to curse. I don't want to curse in any of my stand up, and I don't want to like punch down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've recently been saying like the word bitch in a new joke that I wrote, but I think there's context behind that, and I think it's funny, and it's mostly a quote and not just me calling somebody a bitch.
No, I know. Yeah. I totally get it, and I curse like a motherfucker. So like I curse all the time.
But that's you. You're being true to who you are.
Yeah, but I think when you first start doing stand up, like you start telling people your point of view, and you feel like people like you watch better comics, obviously, because that's what you're mostly coming from. You're like, what? Like I grew up watching like Chris Rock and Chappelle and like, you know, legends, and like they would come up and tell you like what they think about something, and fucking people accept it. But they say it in an amazing they're fucking legends, so they're funny. But the way they set shit up is, you know, correctly. It's in a setup punchline way, but it like there's a point of view behind it, and I feel like they are able to get away with that because people know who they are at this point. So when you first start doing comedy, you want to tell people your like craziest point of views, and it just does not land because they don't know who the fuck you are. And then you're doing it like at an open mic or like a show where there's like 45. You're not doing like a prop, like you're at a club or something for real. Like, so you don't have that time to like really build a relate. Even like 15 minutes, how much can they know you in that? And you do 5, like what the fuck you only do a few jokes and you're out, you know?
Exactly. You're saying slur words at when there's kids around and they're eating conchas and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just ordering their churros for the night, and you know that happens, dude.
I want to know what the fixation of like genitals is with comics, because I feel like it's always about like ball sacks or penises or like that's like often.
There's a lot of pussy jokes too. There's a lot of pussy too.
Is it just like safe? Is it something that's like
I think
safe
so.
and think like everybody thinks it's funny, like a fart, like, you know, like everybody thinks farting. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean.
I think it's one of the easiest, most like sex and dating is like very relatable, especially like you're doing it to adult, like you're talking to adults, so everybody there is mostly dating,
and it's taboo.
Marriage. Yeah, and it is, and it isn't. It isn't now.
Yeah.
I mean, but
now,
like I feel like stand up in 2025 is such a different landscape. Like it's not like Lenny Bruce shit where you're saying like shit and you're getting arrested for saying the word shit or something like that. You know, like some stupid like vaudeville shit, like how it used to be. But like I don't know, like. Now, I feel like people talk about sex so much that it's pretty relatable. Like you go on Instagram, there's like doctors talking about like their pussy and shit like that. Like it's everywhere. So I think society has accepted it a lot.
Do you have a dick joke, Jerry?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. We heard him last night.
Yeah, I tell dirty jokes. I tell all time. I do bar rooms and stuff. Still, so I'll tell dirty. I'll tell a dirty joke, but there's like that's the difference between like being just like shocking to say slurs and nasty shit versus like having a thought behind some dirty thing you want to say, and people really get it, you know. Like
I've gotten into Jesselnick like over the past couple months, dude, and he is amazing.
Yeah,
like, he is so. I heard from an interview of him writing, and he just like the way he writes, he just keeps everything. The only thing that is in the joke has to be in there. There's nothing in there that doesn't have to be there, and I like that.
Yeah, those efficient writers are just amazing to just watch how they work. It's great.
Even the guy asked me last night, he was like, oh, so who are some of your influences? And I was like, oh, you know, I like a lot of the older stuff. Rodney Dangerfield, Drew Carey, Set Up Punchline, Bill Hicks. I mean, he was amazing. I even have It's Just Right tattooed on my on my wrist. George Carlin.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, dang, none of these are like Mexican.
Yeah,
comics.
I mean, yeah, like like Puerto Rican comics. Like
That's right. You're Puerto Rican, dude.
Yeah.
I forget all the time.
I know. People always think I'm Mexican, dude.
Yeah?
Like, I grew up here. I'm from LA, so like they either think I'm Mexican or Central American. That's like the default like Latino ethnicity in this area. Like everyone always assumes you're Mexican, but then they'll be like, maybe you're Salvadoran, maybe you're Guatemalan.
Yeah.
Like that's the only that's it.
Yeah, we don't really. I don't know very many Puerto Rican people.
No, neither do I.
Me either. Like in LA, I know like very few. Like I don't know, like there's not like.
But if you were in like New York, then they'd be like, "Oh, you're Puerto Rican." Like,
Yeah,
they know, and like.
Yeah, that or Dominican. Like
Your family's always been here.
No, my dad is from New York. My mom is from Miami. So they're both from the East Coast, and then they moved out here and they met in LA. So.
Oh, okay. So you're born here in LA.
Yeah, I'm born.
Oh, okay.
I was born right by what used to be Staples. Is this Crypto now? So like a California hospital right down the street from Crypto.
I know the hospital I was born in doesn't exist anymore.
No,
I was born in Huntington Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember that hospital.
Yeah, it was Mission Hospital.
Yeah. Damn, R.I.P. Mission Hospital.
Yeah. A lot of like Southeast LA-ins that are around like my age.
Yeah.
They were born there in Mission Hospital.
Yeah, see, my parents immigrated from downtown. We lived in L.A. and then they moved all the way to Southeast LA. Yeah. So I did grow up here, but like I was like 7 when I moved to Downey, so a little older. No, but I do have friends that I have some friends that were born at Downey Community. Well, I don't know what the hell it is now. It's that one on Brookshire by in Downey. It's PIH.
Oh,
I think
PIH now.
Yeah. So that I know a dude, Tim Jensen. Shout out. He's wherever he is in the ether because he's like off the grid forever now. But he was born at that hospital. I know because he used to always brag about that shit. Like it was some fucking amazing thing.
We have a hospital here in Paramount, which is I don't think it's called that anymore, but
There's a hospital?
Where the City Hall is.
Oh, I forget
there.
about that place.
It used to be called Suburban. Now I don't know if it's still called Suburban, but they were like supposed to knock that thing down. I'm all talking shit about it. But they were supposed to knock it down because I guess there had been like a lot of like malpractice and like things back in the day. And I want to say, don't quote me, but I want to say that it got like taken over by a different medical group and it stayed open. It's kind of like St. Francis.
Yeah, that's how
Linwood.
Downey. That's why Downey Community isn't either. Like I think they had some weird shit where they were
Also,
like
Martin
killing
Luther
people.
King.
Wait, hold on. What happened with St. Francis?
St. Francis and
happens?
Linwood has a lot of cases for
Really?
malpractice and deaths and like just like the conditions of the hospital itself.
They'll have like the angel of death type nurses. Where
Oh,
just killing
wow.
People. They're just like, oh, you're Mexican. I'm just gonna put more poison in you to die.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So
Angel of Death. It was she. It was a person, right? Angel of
it's
Death.
been used a lot because it was Joseph.
Can you look up Angel
it was
of Death?
Joseph Mengele. The fucking that's the Slayer song. That's who Angel of Death is in that song. And then there's there a bunch of nurses that they always call. Like I know there was like some old like when I was a kid there was like a serial killer nurse that was called the Angel of Death.
So pretty much Angel of Death is like the general name for a nurse that
a medical professional who murders people, I guess.
Oh, Angel of Death nurse Netflix. I wonder if it's like the Nurse Ratched. Remember when during the pandemic they came out with the
Oh yeah. I mean, that's essentially
kind of similar. Right?
That and it's just like kind of like the people who have like Munchausen, like the moms who like just get their kids sick, so they're just poisoning people. Just don't go to the doctor, guys. No.
Just don't go.
they'll find something wrong with you. Don't go.
If you walk away from something from this podcast, it's never just don't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Is that her or no?
Beverly Allen.
That's one of them. I mean, like I said, I've heard the name for angel.
It's like a
of death.
term that they give.
It's
like.
Oh. What did she do?
Oh, she killed babies.
Oh my God. This is the third in a series of articles adapted. Oh, that's just them talking about a book.
Insulin murders.
Does she have like a bio or something?
The nurse who killed
What's her
babies.
Instagram?
Yeah, what's her TikTok looking like?
What is it looking like these days?
The medical profession people are pretty crazy, though. I feel like a lot of people don't think about that. Like they just go in. I'm not saying don't trust doctors at all. I'm not saying that. Trust the science and shit. But there's a lot of weird right wing nurses.
I was just going to, when you're talking about that, I was going to say all the right wing nurses right now. To me, it's
that's just crazy. Yeah, I met when I traveled last year and I was on a day tour and I met a anesthesiologist on a day. I was like sitting on a bus and we were both solo travelers. So we started talking. We were talking about that and he's like, man, I don't know what it is. Like all these nurses, like they have like the same like type of education they do, but it's just like they start getting into the vaccine shit, not believing it. Like they're fucking nuts, man.
There has to be something. I feel like, because no shade, my Nina's a nurse and her partner's a nurse. And they're good nurses.
Yeah.
But I think that there has to be, like, there's certain types of nurses and maybe the environment that they're in or the sectors that they're in, maybe some kind of trauma is what I'm thinking that probably, like, triggers something in that aspect of, like, because there's like trauma nurses, there's nurses that work with like hospice, things like that, and I feel like it's kind of those things that like psychologically get them, and it's kind of sad because they're in the health like industry, but then they don't themselves get, and like they're not supported. Like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I think too, because they're in that bureaucracy of they're probably looking at the patient and they're like, they need this type of treatment, and and like the insurance or whatever is like, no, just give them this medicine or something, just give them this like stuff instead, and that'll cover it. And then they're just like, fuck, like I have a distrust for this system, and I get it. Like,
I'm not making excuses for freaking racism.
No, I know,
but I'm saying like I'm thinking further back, like, do they all start being freaking woo-woo crazy nurses, or does something within their profession, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
first you become right-wing and then you start killing babies, and that's how you become an angel of death nurse. Like, that's the evolution. That's why they use it so often.
I think that happens with any type of profession. If you're doing it for so long, you're going to find any distaste for anything. I was in the food and beverage industry for a lot of years.
What are you going to ruin for me?
I can ruin a lot.
Okay, go.
I could ruin a lot, but I'm not going to go there. But I just, you pick up things along the way and you start to resent it along the way. And I think just at least working with human and health, like humans and health and like vaccines and misinformation and what medical people are doing now versus what they're doing before, especially like the whole thing with COVID, how many, like the medical field was divided because of the vaccines.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, dude, what kind of environment that was.
Scary. That's scary to know that you have someone like literally like
that's your life.
Like your life.
Yeah.
And they're freaking
they don't
crazy.
Care. Yeah, no, I know. It is fucking nuts. Like I spent a lot of time in the hospital this year because I had septoplasty, and like I've been.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so earlier in the year I had a septoplasty.
What's a septoplasty?
So like everybody has a septum in their nose, but sometimes it'll be deviated or just crooked. So like when you're trying to breathe, like. You like people who can only breathe well out of one nostril.
That's me.
Like so like I used to be like you too.
So
like,
how'd it go?
So overall better. I still have some fucking complications to this day, but like overall I'm breathing better. But like right after the surgery, like a week after, I was just like starting into recovery, but I started just fucking bleeding out of my nostril, and I had to go to the emergency room. And I'm on fucking Medi-Cal, so I was just at fucking General Hospital, and they had me stay overnight, and like I was just around the nurses, and like dude, they got a shitty job. It's tough. Like I totally fucking feel bad for them because like patients are mean to them, like they're angry, and like you'll hear people like snapping on them, like fucking just, and I get the patients too because they're pissed and they're fucking scared because it's shitty to be in the hospital.
Yeah.
But it's rough. But man, like I do not like envy a nurse. Like that was in the time where I was like, I don't fucking care how much they pay. I wouldn't want to be a medical professional. Like you couldn't pay me to be a nurse or a doctor, like in a fucking emergency room. Fuck that.
The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more. I wonder how as the population is growing and the education is declining, where are we going to find the nurses? Especially when everybody wants to be TikTokers and Instagrammers and influencers. Where are we going to find the nurses? Where are we going to find the doctors? There's got to be a certain point in history to where nobody wants to be a doctor or a nurse.
Well, we were just bringing in immigrants, but now, like, with fucking Trump, like, that's probably going to end too. So we're just probably going to have, like, just fools that were like, hey, man, I got into being a doctor because, you know, fucking comedy didn't work out for me.
During the pandemic, they were, like, so strapped for medical, like, personnel.
That's right.
That they were taking, like, and I'm no shade on that, but like CNAs.
Yeah.
That CNAs are own, like, they're just there for, like, I don't know, like, they don't know how to administer medicine. They don't know, like,
they can't take your blood
phlebotomy.
and
They
shit.
can't anything. They're just there to kind of, like, you know, change sheets and help and things like that. And they were literally, like, giving them, like, a crash course on here. Yeah.
Really?
No, yeah.
Hey, watch this YouTube video.
Yeah, like,
for a couple of hours.
You graduate YouTube University.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know this because my source, they work for a big, like, corporation, and she was like, she's like, we didn't have people to do it, so they were just literally bringing in, like, CNAs that were just hired, and then we had, like, a week to train them, and it was like, here.
A week?
Man.
How much education did they smash into a week? Like a year, couple years into a week? More?
Probably. I mean, they weren't having them do open heart surgery, but you know, it was like.
But 2 weeks from now, if they took another course, they could have.
Yeah. The death toll wasn't COVID itself. It was like all the malpractice doctors and nurses.
People who weren't supposed to do the job. There was like the janitor, and they're like, "Hey, bro, put some scrubs on.
Yeah,
it's your time to shine, dog.
You look like you can be in scrubs.
Yeah, you look compassionate enough.
Yeah,
and then we had there was a lot of nurses and, like, doctors and stuff of people that were quitting too.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because that shit sucked. Like, that's what I was talking to the dude when I met him in I think it was in Korea, and we're just bragging, guys. I fucking travel, but I met him on a tour, and he was telling me about how COVID. And he's like, yeah, we're reusing the same. We'd work like 16-hour shifts and have to reuse the same N95. Like, so you would just, like, put it in a fucking Ziploc bag and, like, kind of dry it out, and then, like, put it back on the next day because they're short of N95s.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it was gross. Like, it was horrible. Like, I don't know how fucking, shout out to everybody who stuck it out in the medical field, especially all the nurses who aren't crazy. And
We're all like shit, and then tomorrow we're like,
actually.
No, I do love the nurses, medical professionals.
No, there's some nurses that are very they're like, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
And I always remember like when my grandmother passed away literally a week before the pandemic, like the shutdown of the pandemic. But I remember, like, because she got cancer. So I remember prior to that going to, like, the doctor's appointments, and a lot of the doctors, and I get it because you can't be, like, attached to things because then it affects you. But they were so, like if they were telling us, I don't know, I planted flowers outside of your house.
Yeah.
So he literally was like, yeah, she's not going to make it. And we're like, what the heck? And he's like, yeah, I give her a couple months.
Fuck.
All right, thank you. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye, have a great day. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, They're just so desensitized of like,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they see it all the time. I mean, I saw that in the hospital too, because like people were like fucked up next to me, and they like, I think somebody was really bad in there, and they're like, yeah, I think that guy might die. Hey, what are we gonna get for lunch? Like, it was like that kind of thing where like you kind of, and then I think that, I don't know, I meet a lot of medical people and doing stand up, and because they have dark fucking senses of humor,
Right.
so like I get it, like them and like fucking military people and shit like that.
it takes a special type of person for sure to do work like that. But that's where I'm going back to like reiterating back to like, how are they taking care of themselves?
Yeah. Well, that's why they get into politics, and then they flip out, and you're just like, oh, I hope this.
Well, they're not doing good.
Yeah, no, they're not. No, none of our mental health. I don't think there's an industry where I'm like, the mental health of these professionals is in a good place.
Well, I think
right now.
something like mental health is just so new now. It's just making its way into American culture, because before, I mean, I guess American culture, it's always been there, right? Like therapy has always been there, but I feel like it hasn't been mainstream. It wasn't mainstream enough.
But
I
people
guess.
always look at you crazy. Like look at like movies in the 50s and 60s and
Right.
stuff, how that covered like therapy. Like it was just kind of like, it would be like this college professor kind of person who believed in therapy, and like you would talk about your feelings, and it'd be weird, and then you'd have to process, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Just go fucking drink whiskey, man. Like,
Yeah,
Why
like
can't you
do
be
the
like
manly
yeah.
thing.
It's hard too, because so say you're a doctor, right? You have staff. You have to maintain a staff. You have to maintain your nurses. You have to maintain like health code or whatever the F it is. You have to be saving the hospital money.
yeah.
That's one thing that they have on their mind, that you have to save the hospital money, but then you also have to save lives at the same time. So and the reason why I had a weird like epiphany was like, I'm gonna get dark, but when my dad was like, when he was dying, he like his lungs were giving out, and the doctor like came to me, and like my sister was there, but ultimately my dad gave me the power of whatever power attorney or whatever to make decisions on behalf of him. And the doctor told me that, and I was like, oh crap, like I don't fucking want to do that. Like I even looked at my aunts, and I was like, no, you guys, and they're like, no, you have to do it. And I was like, fuck. So they gave me all these options, and I even got mad, dude. I got really pissed, because the doctor was telling me all these options, and the one that I wanted to choose was to keep him alive just a little bit longer. And they I told him, and he was like, you know what, Gilbert, I don't think that this is the right decision for your dad, and you're just gonna make him suffer a little bit longer. The procedure is this and this, and he made it sound horrible.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, maybe not that then, dude. But now I know why they didn't want to do it, because they had to pour all these different resources.
Yeah.
That means keeping him a little bit longer in the hospital, moving staff to the night to keep watching him more and more, bringing out more medical machines to keep him alive. So I think that was the point. Was there's two things that I thought about. I was like, okay, so the doctors they want to save money on the insurance because of all the resources that they're gonna have to put out before, and then also they're gonna be like, this guy is gonna die anyways. Like, why pour? Basically, that's what he told me.
Yeah.
Why are we gonna pour all these resources into your dad when we're just prolonging the inevitable?
Well, that's what's fucked up about like the way the U.S. healthcare system is, because of capitalism, where it's like they treat a human person, your family member, like it's like a car, where like it's like, oh, at a certain point, why are you putting money in to fucking fix this car? Like you're just throwing the money away, and you're talking about a human life, like who gives a fuck how many, like that should be up to the family. Like, that's why he gave you power of attorney. Like, it wasn't like, okay, but unless it hurts insurance, and like now the shareholders are going to get an extra like fucking $500. Like, fuck that. Like, that's what it always is. It's
we were just having this conversation last night with one of my friends that just went through cancer. She's about a year older than I am. So she's 36.
Fuck.
And she was saying like how like her medical expenses have been like through the roof. You know, she has a good job and she has insurance, but her insurance doesn't cover like her whole thing. Yeah. And she said, she's like, I chose to work through, because she worked. She never like took time off of work. Because she said, she's like, if I did, she's like, I was going to go on disability, and disability is not going to cover my entire bills. She's like, so she literally through cancer, like chemo and everything, she had to continue to
She kept working.
Yeah,
so then the insurance was like, okay, while you're working, you're making good money, you don't need extra help. It's like ridiculous. And then she was saying, she's like, if I didn't pay, like, she said that one time, I think they had like a balance like of $50. And she said she went and she had to get like labs done, and that they were like, oh, how would you like to pay for your balance? And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, you have a balance. And she's like, oh, well, I'll pay it, you know, like I'll pay it later.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we can't service you if you don't pay it.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they just try to squeeze every dollar out of you, and like then when because you pay, like, how much does she pay out of her job every month probably that they're taking out of her check, and like it's ridiculous. Like you feel like, and that's a person with good insurance, because if you don't have insurance, dude, they're basically like, go die, like just have a good one, and they don't give a fuck. And that's it's terrible with like the way capitalism in this country especially is just about like exploiting, pulling every dollar, and then like as soon as you're not useful, they just throw you in the garbage.
You know what I read the other day? I think I read it or I heard it on like a YouTube video about capitalism. There's gonna be a point in capitalism to where it's not sustainable. Like especially in any situation, it's not sustainable, because capitalism is I guess it's infinite, right? Because you reach a number and you want to hit that number again, right? To make the most profit. But resources are finite.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point in history or a point in the future to where there's not going to be any resources.
Yeah.
To keep this machine going.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point in history. Literally, there's going to be a point in human future in this world to where we're going to squeeze so much out of this world to where we can't even fucking go anymore.
Yeah, we're pretty close. I mean, we're like, there's a lot of water fight. Like right now, India and China are fighting for water. Like India and Pakistan, especially, like they have that Hindus river treaty. Like that, India won't give them their water rights back.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. There's like a lot of shit going on with like water and clean air. Like the air's getting like right now. Like I was reading something. It was not recently, but all the rainwater in the world now is not drinkable. It's all acidic. So like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so like now we fucked up the environment. So at a certain point, I feel like now that's why a lot of the world governments are working the way they are, because they're preparing for big populations needing to move in rapid periods of time, and they don't want to absorb all these people, so they're starting to like bang the drums of like, no, immigrants are bad, because we're gonna have to start taking in refugees eventually.
You know what's dumb, dude? You know what's dumb? That we have TikTok, we have all this technology, we have driving cars, we have we have AI robots and whatever, right? But we don't have a machine or something, some kind of mechanical filtering system to turn salt water into drinkable, usable water for humans. That is
They do a little in Israel.
Crazy.
Like they do those desalination.
Right.
I just think that.
But on a bigger scale.
Yeah, and I think it's very expensive, and it's like for the I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist, but I just think it's for the amount of water they get out. It's like it's the cost isn't that well. But like, dude, they're fucking wasting. Like AI wastes so much water right now. They're burning through like all those stupid ass AI fucking pictures people do, and like stupid ass AI things they use for like that wastes so much water right now. Like it's killing like Grok or Grok or whatever the fuck it's called, the Twitter thing. That's killing a city in Memphis, like or a part of Memphis.
Wait, hold on. This is the first time I'm hearing that. What is this?
So Elon Musk has a big like power plant I think it's in Memphis. I know it's in
Look
Tennessee.
that up.
And it uses a lot. It's like in a black community, like a mostly black community, and like they're using all the water, and it's like fucking up everything in that area. But
What does he do there?
that's where they power the Grok AI thing. So like every time, like you know,
What's the Grok AI?
it's the AI on Twitter. So you're like, do you use Twitter a lot?
No.
Okay, so on Twitter, like he installed, it's Grok, GROK,
GRO.
and put like Memphis or Tennessee, like plant. Because there's like
So I wonder, like, how does AI, like, because I've heard that, right, that it's taking up resources and that, like, for every search that you do, it's like freaking pulling like all this energy and everything. But I want to know, like, how is it intertwined with water? Like, how is that?
They have it has those big supercomputers, and they basically have those big servers, and those motherfuckers get hot. So they have to keep them cool, and they use water to keep. I'm not a computer guy, but like they use the water to keep those.
You know more than me, dude. I didn't know this was going on.
Off, and that's what's like burning through water.
That is crazy.
AI,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Please don't use AI. Don't go to the doctor. Don't use AI. These are the lessons we're getting today at the Mind Buzz, all right?
Segueing into everything that's going on now, and what pisses me off is like we have all these things. We're destroying our earth. We have people dying. We have shitty healthcare. We have all these resources.
This is a sunshine of an episode
of people, but we have an excuse. Well, no, don't excuse my language. It's appropriate for what I'm gonna say. We have all these. We have billions and billions of dollars to pay freaking kidnappers out on the street right now. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It's capitalism. And that's what this government has become.
You know what I've learned in these past couple days, which I've been like deep diving, is what's that crazy guy's name? The bald fucker that everybody wants to punch. The one behind all of this.
Miller?
Stephen Miller.
Yeah.
So Stephen Miller.
I am not advocating for that, by the way.
What?
No violence against Stephen. None of us on the podcast are advocating because I know they're watching this right now.
No, we're not advocating.
No,
but I said
saying.
the one that people want to.
Others.
Not us.
Others.
Is that there's a lot of ties within everything that's happening within our communities and everything that's happening with what's happening now is like there's money ties behind everything. Like a lot of these politicians, and again, maybe I sound like a conspiracy theorist or whatever, and I don't know if it is a theory or it's true.
Amber has been doing the podcast so long that she has become.
No, but they're talking about like the Palantir.
Yeah.
How a lot of these politicians have money invested.
Yeah.
This person,
They're all in.
This bald man, that's something that I thought was very interesting, is that his family owns like I think like 1,200 like housing units, so apartments here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's from Santa Monica. Yeah, he's
Whoa.
a piece of shit. Yeah, Stephen Miller's from Santa Monica. Fucking piece of shit West Side. Goddamn you guys. Yeah, he's from California, and a lot of like Peter Thiel, all these guys are living in California. They're the ones that like there are tech overlords right now. And yeah, I agree with you, Amber. Like I feel like a lot of the reason why immigrants are being demonized at this point is because the billionaires have taken everything and they're in control, and now they're not going to be like, oh, it's our fault. It's the guy selling fucking flowers on the corner who's stealing all your health care. He's getting benefit because they'll say like illegal immigrants are getting $100,000 or something to buy a house. Like, where, motherfucker? It's like, what are you talking about? What, like in California, they would be at like, you'd hear some like fucking Piolín or somebody would be doing fucking ads for that shit, dude. Like, fuck, dude. Like, it's never like somebody like that, but like that shit doesn't exist. Like talk about like immigrants getting all these things for free. Like, no, it's bullshit.
And that's what's crazy is
it's the rhetoric. That's the myth.
Yeah.
That's the myth. That's the rhetoric. That's what they're using all that false misinformation to fuel whatever this crazy thing that's going on right now in the Los Angeles communities and in New York and Chicago, and it's just
and I think we're so
crazy.
We're so because I feel like this every day, where I feel like I am privileged, and I think we are privileged that we're even able to be sitting here right now doing this and not. I'm not gonna say that we don't have any fear, because I feel like there is some type of like little fear instilled in even just going down the street, going to eat or whatever for us.
Yeah.
But I just feel like no one is going to ever feel what we're feeling, what our community is feeling, unless you're living it.
No, I totally, I get what you're saying.
And I think like it's very easy for people to turn a blind eye and just be like, oh, well, that sucks. That's sad. But it's like to live it. And that's kind of what I think these past couple weeks, like even what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
But it's like, it puts you into perspective. Like nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares but yourself and your community.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that we have right now is a community. And yeah, there's people in the community that don't care, but for the most part, like just seeing everybody come together, I think that's beautiful. And it's kind of sad that, you know, like I lived my whole life thinking like, oh, the government, you know, they're there for us. Oh, healthcare, they're there for us. Like these are our support systems. And to see it all crumble into what it really is, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Like it's been hard for me to do comedy and write in the last few weeks. I really haven't been doing much, and I like pay attention to politics a lot, and I've just been thinking, I'm like, we've been very privileged because I think like here I am trying to keep working in comedy and writing, and you know, trying to get my next gig, and I think about like people in Gaza who like they're like teachers, like people I follow on Twitter now because of everything that's happening over there with Israel trying to genocide everybody in Palestine, and I think about how there's people who are teachers. There's there's artists. I'm sure there's comedians in Gaza right now that can't fucking do comedy anymore. Their whole life is gone. And I think about how much privilege I've had and how much we have. And now that things are getting bad here, I'm still privileged because again, I'm not like worried I'm going to get picked up. Yes, I can get abducted, obviously, because I'm Latino, but I'm not like out vending. I'm not the flower vendor. I'm not the taquero guy on the street. Like I think about how much there's lately I've been like just theories where I'm like, I want to take some time off or something, just relax. But I'm like, they can't. Like that's not how their lives are. So I like it pushes me back in, you know? Yeah.
Especially with the how hard of workers like just immigrants are.
Yeah.
You do this crazy thing, right? Like move across the world for a better life for yourself, for your family, and just to get treated like this, it's ridiculous. And all they just want to do is just be a human. They want to be happy too. They want the exact same things, that everybody does.
Yeah, no, like I've been going out and trying to do local buyouts for vendors in the last like almost 2 weeks now, and Downey and Paramount, all the 562. Honestly, I've gotten money to people like all over LA now, and it's hard to talk to. Like at first, you know, you try to doing it like, oh, I want to try to help people, but it fucking takes an emotional toll on me too, because I'm meeting them and I'm seeing the faces of the people who are fucking under threat, and it's hard. And like, I'm trying to give them money, and I know I'm not doing enough because like I can't fix their life. Like I can't give them enough money to like, here's some money where you could be safe for good. It's just like maybe for a few, maybe like half the day, maybe a day. But I like keep telling people I feel a lot like, cause I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm not being like targeted specifically, but I feel like Oscar Schindler and Schindler's List. Like I'm living like Mexican Schindler's List right now, where I am collecting money from people and I'm able to like help one vendor out, but as soon as I'm broke, I see two more. Like the other day, I gave $500 to some taqueros that I love, and I was so glad to do it. And just as I was getting back on the freeway, I saw like two flower guys right on each side of the fucking freeway, and I was like, I have no money now, and what the fuck? Like I can't help them. And like same shit every time I pay someone out, and like I see another guy, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I could help them, and it's like not enough. Like it's shitty, dude. It sucks.
So when did you start doing all this, man?
The 16th of June. So like 2 weeks ago, it'll be about 2 weeks now.
Really?
Almost, yeah.
And you've raised what, like over, like I seen like over $4,000 for vendors?
Yeah, I think by the time this airs, I'll be closer to $5,000.
Hell yeah, dude.
So yeah, thank you. No, and thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody that's donated, like, and everyone who's amplifying. Like, you guys have been wonderful, and then I have a lot of like other comics have pitched in, people I know that are writers, actors, sketch people, clowns, all types of people, friends, family, people who don't do anything in entertainment. Like, they have donated and they've opened up their pockets and they have been very generous, and that's why I'm able to pay out 300, 400, 500 at a time, because everybody's pitching in and helping me out, and everybody's lifted me.
His did you see, Amber, that Eric Galindo wrote an article on what Jerry's doing?
I haven't seen it, but I know that you mentioned it.
Yeah, Eric Galindo, right? He wrote an article.
Shout out to Eric and LA Taco. Eric's
LA Taco.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Yeah, he also was another person to Amplified, and that's gotten me like I was on K-Rock this week, and
nice.
Yeah, dude, I was on Univision. Like,
really?
Yeah, dude. I been doing some which is weird because again, I'm not fucking. I just did this because I just want to fucking like, dude. It's hard to do comedy right now. Like, I don't get how like everybody, like, there's a lot of comedians who are just posting their fucking show stuff and like just living like every day, and I can't do that because I'm here in Downey. Like, all I hear is about raids everywhere. Like, I walk around my neighborhood, it's dead. Like, what used to be, like, I live in the south side of Downey, where it's all heavily Latino, and it's dead right now. Like, I walk around like by the all the businesses are like closed or just like empty. Nobody's walking around. Like, that's not how Downey is. Downey's not even Paramount. Like, all these areas that I live by, I drive around, it's like a ghost town. And then I'm all paranoid because I see how everybody else is. So like now I'm like mad dogging people. I'm like, why is that dude on my street? Like, and I'm seeing all the damn. Go to my link in the bio. That's where the pages or the article is.
Oh, right here.
But no, it's been rough to just like walk around and like fucking just go back to business as usual. So I wanted to try to help. I was going out to some of the protests, but they're dangerous, and I feel like they're effective, but they're also dangerous, and I wanted to do something else that wasn't putting me constantly like in harm's way, where I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get my ass kicked by a fucking cop or something. And I was just like, I just been watching TikTok and everything. I see that dude Hood Santa and other people buying out people, and I was like, they're not ever in Downey. Like, they're not in my area. I'm seeing like the raspado people walking by still, and I want to see if I could collect some money and see if I could help out. And I just started posting shit on Instagram and just seeing if anybody was down to pitch in on the fund. And again, people have been amazing. Just started throwing in money, anything from like 5, 10 up to 200. People have been very generous. Yeah. Again, thank you if you've donated. But so many people have reached out and just have given me money so I can just take that money and go and redistribute it out to the vendors. Cause like, dude, they're in danger and they're not making money right now because nobody's buying. So like they're out just they're just putting themselves out in these horrible positions. They're like, it's bad. Like I talked to the taqueros, they're not selling. The flower people you see, like that's why people are doing the full buyouts. Like sometimes I run into the cart, like I'll have the good and bad luck of running into them early in the shift, which is great because I caught them early, but they have $500 they want to make that day.
Yeah.
And if you give them $50, they'll take it and they'll be thanks, but you're not going to get them off the street.
Right.
They're going to keep trying to sell. So I just try to get them at home and at least get as close to like buying them out as I can.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Good job.
You're doing awesome things, man.
Dude, I just want to go back to doing comedy full time. Like I know all the people start following me are going to be like, when the fuck did, like I'm going to pivot eventually just back to shit posting for comedy. But I'm not a professional like charity. I don't run a non-profit or
You don't need to though. You don't need all you need is just the Jerry Hernandez heart and
but I
doing what you want to do for the community. And that's the thing, man. Your background is not on all this. You're just a good human being trying to do something. Yeah, trying to do something for your community.
But honestly, I don't know how. Again, like I don't understand how people are just like looking and not like at least getting mad. Like,
it's hard,
fuck, dude.
It's really hard, man.
Because there's now like all this bullshit about when they were doing the whole we're going after criminals thing was just demonizing Latinos off the bat, because that was bullshit because they're not. And then it's always like, dude, like I tell people, like I even tell the Latino people that I know that are like fucking like cool with this shit. And I go, dude, you know how easy it is to get like a DUI in this country, like any sort of criminal record in the U.S. where now they're going to use that against you to be like, he's a criminal. You like played music too loud in the parking lot and the cop feels like giving you a disturbing of a piece. You have a record. Like so many reasons you could get a fucking criminal record.
They took a man, I think it was last week. And he's been in the country for like over 40 years, 2 grown adult children. And they went to his house and they had a warrant. And they were like, why are you taking him? And they're like, oh, he got a DUI in like 2005 or something like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah, dude, like that's what's so crazy that they're like trying to use, like that's why I tell people, I'm like, one, this country is not free. We have like the most people incarcerated in the world. So like, It's ridiculous. People have this notion that we're so free, that the police are so fair. They're fucking pull you over for bullshit a lot. They do it to people all the time. And now they're using that again to like just grab people that are like, again, I'm going out and just meeting. I hate the hardworking Latino narrative too, because that's like another thing that like we gotta work so hard to prove ourselves. Like if we want to be lazy, what the fuck? Like white people do the bare minimum at their jobs, and like people are like, hey, like what the fuck's Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos ever do? Like how hard of a day's work have they ever done in their life? And people fucking want to suck their cocks for being fucking rich. So I don't like that narrative, but the people I do meet on the streets, these vendors, like they are working hard and they're just trying to make money. And now their business is taken away because any like Latino, like even me, like I'm scared to go buy tacos. I'm like, what if they busted? They're gonna grab us all, like any one of us, like any type of Latino business. Like it sucks, dude. Like it's shitty. And like I grew up here too, so I've never lived a life like. When have you been in LA? You both grew up here too. Like when has it been like 90 degrees? You go by a park and you don't see someone selling paletas or fruit. Like, and now it's just ghost towns. Like that's crazy. Like that's what makes LA. When like my friends who are tourists, like that come into LA, they're like, I didn't know they sold fruit on the corner here, and they try like, you know, like, and then they're like tajin on mango. What? Like, they're just blown away by the stuff that makes our city cool, which is the Latino culture stuff.
And you know what's crazy too is like what you're talking about, like the narrative of like, oh, they're hardworking. I believe that we are hardworking.
Yes,
people.
we are.
But it's also like they think that every single person that migrates here is like, you know, I don't know, second grade school level, and they're just coming here to take money, whatever. And I have it's my uncle, my mom's sister's husband, and he was able to move back to Mexico because that was his game was never to come and stay here. Mm-hmm. So my uncle, very educated, college degree, master's, everything in accounting in Mexico. And there was a point in time that like the Mexican dollar, it crashed. So their economy crashed. I think it was like in 96 or 97 around there. So he used to have like an exchange, what is it called? Like when you exchange
Currency
money,
exchange,
like a currency like business, and it was going great for a long time. And then when the value came down, it crashed. So it pretty much crashed the market. So now he's in all this debt of like money that he owed because it's kind of like a bank, you know? And he had to leave his family in Mexico, leave his career, and come here. And he came here to Cudahy. And well, he lived with us first here in Paramount, but then he went to Cudahy. And he literally was flipping burgers for 15 years.
Yeah.
Master's
Non-stop.
degree.
Yeah, no, I
In
totally,
accounting.
yeah. There's a ton, yeah, and Latinos are hardworking. I was just saying we don't owe motherfuckers shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. But yeah, I know people like my friends. I have friends whose their mom would like just work like a regular like cleaning job, but then like they were nurses in Mexico. So like when I'd get sick, they'd hook me up with the antibiotic shot, and they know how to do it because they're fucking trained nurses. And all these people that are like doctors, but they just don't have the medical license here in the U.S. that can do it. Some convert, but it's expensive.
Right. But that blows my mind, dude. I mean, yeah, sure, it could be maybe different practices, but I mean, it's the same practice of caring for a human being. How can you be able to care for a human being in a different country and not care for the same person in another country?
Because we're elitists.
That's dumb.
We're in an elitist country.
If you would say that to somebody that did not know anything about borders or anything like that, they're gonna think that you're nuts.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to Cuba. I went to Cuba in 2019 when they first, when they reopened for U.S.
Yeah. That's it.
Now it's closed.
Yeah,
again.
I know.
But I was able to go in 2019. And Cuba is known for one of like the best doctors in like the entire world. Like their doctors are very smart. They're very like, you know. But I remember them telling me that the doctor did not make, obviously because it's like communist, they don't make more than like someone picking up trash in the street. So these doctors had to go from being a doctor and then having a second job to being a bus driver.
Yeah.
And it was like, to me, it was like mind boggling that like you have, like you said, like all this whole practice, everything. And then they can't even go anywhere else to like help the world, help anything. Like they're just kind of like there. And to me, it blows my mind. Like you said, like, and like my uncle, you know, he came, he flipped burgers for 15 years, working 7 days a week, sometimes double shifts.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me that he's a criminal?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, this man has the biggest heart ever and did what he had to do. Yes, he worked. He paid his taxes. His car always had the tags. Like, there was nothing. There was nothing that he did. He didn't drink. He didn't use drugs. Nothing.
Yeah, we're supposed to be the land of liberty and pursuit of happiness, all that bullshit, and like we should be letting people, like if people come in here and just they're not doing fucking shit. They're just working and being part of society. It drives me nuts, like because especially these white people that don't live in the area have all these weird fucking impressions of what Latinos are, and then they meet us and we're like, well, you're human? Like, yeah, no shit, fucker. Like, that's what's so dumb about your racism, where it's like it's not rooted in logic, and like they'll always use those bullshit examples like Lake and Riley, and that's horrible that she was
What is
murdered.
that
woman that was murdered by the immigrant, and then they just try to go like, oh, but he's like a monster. But that's one
when did that happen?
Couple years ago,
okay.
But they're using it to do all this legislation that now they're grabbing people, and they could just fucking grab you for no reason. So
that has been something that has been going on for centuries, right? I mean, the same thing happened with like segregation, slavery, even criminalization of hemp and marijuana. It's the same thing. It was all based on racism.
Yeah.
Like
it's called loco weed, and they're like the Mexicans will try to rape you.
Yeah.
They're high. Yeah, it's all that, and it's always been rooted, and that's how they always try to present Latinos. Like that's why I even hate when like people do the like we're so we got like the fiery like passion like that, all that like dudes have machismo. Like I hear that a lot from Latino people too, because they're always like, oh, Latinos are got so much of that machismo toxic shit in them. But I'm like, dude, there's some families where the head of the family is a woman. A little old lady is the head of the family.
Yeah. And she'll kick your ass.
She'll kick your ass, and she'll make the dudes cry, and the dudes will cry. Like, so it's a lot of bullshit. Like, yeah, there's fucking dudes that are assholes that are Latinos, but there's fucking how many white guys fucking don't murder fucking their wives and shit. So like, there's pieces of shit in every type of ethnicity.
I agree. And I hate that people are like, oh, well, if you love it so much, why did you come here? Oh, if you love being Mexican so much, why don't you go back? And it's like, we do. Like, I'm first generation. Both of my parents were born in Mexico. They were brought young, so they did grow up here. But I love who I am. I love my culture, and I'm glad that I was able to get the opportunity I get. Well, I mean, now the whole narrative is different. Like, now the dream is like the Mexican dream, right? Like, everybody, like, I mean, Mexico has always been like, people think it's like this third world country, and it's just like, but it's beautiful.
It's dope.
Beautiful.
I love Mexico. Yeah.
It's smart. We have amazing people there, and people don't just leave their home just because they want to. There's a need, there's a necessity, maybe they're not safe, maybe there's different factors. It's like America isn't, and that's the thing, is that we're so egocentric in this country that we think that we are the best, and we are not the best.
We're the worst.
Anymore. And well, we're not the worst either. But
we suck.
No, we suck. We're not even the fattest country. You know, we're the 10th fattest country.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously, that blew my mind.
We are not fat.
No, we're not even the fattest.
Dude. That's offensive.
It is.
But I think the world is waking up.
Yeah.
And this facade of who we were is like, it's fading
Yeah.
with time. And it's crazy to see that we're just, the country's being ran by clowns, and it's crazy.
I think it's been ran by clowns for a long time. Now we're just able to see it, and they have so much power that we can't do anything.
This much.
I always saw it, man, because I hate fucking both parties. But
so do I.
But like, I feel like this is just, it's been snowballing. Like, every president has been exponentially worse than the other. Than the one before.
They're just carrying the torch over.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's really changing. They're just, okay, let me start off let me make it seem like I'm going to change a little bit, but I really not going to change anything.
We're fucked, dude. Like, I mean, I do have the Terminator 2, like, Sarah Connor plan. I am just gonna run to Mexico as it gets worse here, because
me too.
Well, good thing we have a vault down here.
I mean, that's the other thing, Amber. Like, people will be like, go back to your country, and I'm like, I'm Puerto Rican, dude. I'm stuck here, motherfuckers. Like, you're gonna deport me, I'll be back tomorrow. Like me and Bad Bunny will be fucking hanging out next week. So
what comic who says it, that the reason why they call it the American Dream is because you have to be asleep to believe it? Mm-hmm. I think it was George Carlin. It was George Carlin, right?
Yeah. No,
fucking hit it, dude.
Carlin hit it. Like, a lot of comics.
Bill Hicks
have been talking about it for a long time. Like, I feel like it's, people have always seen how politicians and the system of that we're in just constantly fails us. You know what
I heard? I was watching a YouTube video last night about, who was conspiracy theorist. Well, now most conspiracies, years back have obviously they've been true. Like MK Ultra, true. All these the facts about Hillary Clinton, all true, right? And the video I was watching was about Mel Gibson. He, like, even back in the early, like, mid 90s, he was a conspiracy theorist talking about Hollywood even before like all this.
For the Passion of the Christ.
Exactly. No, seriously, I was watching
yeah.
some of his interviews. They were wild. He talked about Christopher Walken and how Christopher Walken told him that he was the Antichrist, and one time when he came into a room, like he was floating like a vampire. But then again, I don't know, Mel. I don't know if I can believe him or not. But he's been talking about Hollywood for a very long time, and for a very long time they try to blacklist him, but they weren't able to because of his just all the movies that he was in, and he was way too popular for them.
Braveheart is a good movie. Like there's some insane people, but they have made some good movies, and Braveheart is a good movie. But he's nuts, and his dad is crazy too. Like if you like research who his dad's got like crazy. Like I think his dad is like a big Holocaust denier in Australia,
and that's not good because of the portrayal of Jewish people in Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Like he got a huge backlash from the Jewish community because of the movie, how he portrayed Jewish people, and the brutality that they
they looked all
what they
sneaky
did
in the movie, and like he's making a sequel, right? He's making a sequel to that.
No way.
He's working.
Is it real?
Yeah. Google it up.
No, that's crazy.
And he's
that's funny because I got a joke about
it's
that
be
too.
Passion of the Christ 2 or 2 Christ 2 Passion or something like that.
What?
And, yeah, it's coming back, and
he's not coming back, dude.
Yeah, he's coming back, and it's going to be more anti-Semitic than ever. I bet. Like, I wonder what kind of crazy tropes, because now he's doing it under like Passion of Christ 2.
Oh my lord!
Look at that, bro. Look at that. This is what you get.
The Surrection, or is it Resurrection?
Insurrection.
It's the insurrection of the Christ. He's at January 6th. That's where the movie starts. That's when he reappears.
Whoa. 2026?
This is really the hot Hollywood stuff you get when you get me, a Hollywood guy, on this podcast, guys.
That's crazy.
That's okay. That's a movie that doesn't need a.
I'm working on this movie, by the way. No, I wish. Mel Gibson, if you want me to fucking punch up the script, I'll do it. I've heard a lot of slurs at open mics.
But even that too. Okay, so his father was a Holocaust denier.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like stuff like that. I'm pretty sure like 100 years down the road, they're going to be deniers of whatever's going on right now. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do raids in the city of Paramount.
I mean, the Holocaust isn't even like, it's what, like 100 years, like less than 100 years ago. So like people deny it. So you're not going to, I mean, people deny what's going on in Gaza is a genocide and a Holocaust right now. It's the same fucking thing, dude. It might be worse because I've seen some fucking images coming out of Gaza that break your mind, and you're like, what the fuck? How is this reality? Like, it's horrible.
We're definitely living in like this. I can't believe it. Like every week, there's just something that's crazy. Like last week, the whole missile thing with Donald Trump. Like it was Sunday, right? When everything happened. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I was. We were at a family party. Ricky texted me. He was like, "Hey, like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we're at a family party. We're about to, we're just hanging out." He's like, "Oh, you celebrating?" And I was like, "Celebrating what?" And he was like, "Dude, Donald Trump just like send missiles to Iran, dude." And I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
And didn't even do it right, man. That's how much of a loser he is. He didn't accomplish the fucking goal. The uranium is still there. The Iranians moved it.
They moved it, right?
They moved it before because they're not fucking idiots. It's all these morons that fucking are just all pro-war right now. We're just wasting money. They're like, yeah, we're going to go kick their ass. Like, Iran is not like the Taliban. Like, these motherfuckers are very smart. They have a very advanced military. Like, they got missiles. They have hypersonic missiles that we don't have. Like, they're not gonna just like fucking roll over. It's stupid to get into it. There's no reason. Shout out to all my Iranians. I love Persian people. I love everyone in Iran. By the way, not Iran, but Iran. And even the motherfuckers out here in fucking Beverly Hills. I don't hate you guys either.
It's just every week something different, dude. Like I was. So this whole like the missile thing, war thing, and I've just been hearing about like just listening to conspiracy stuff like my whole life. I've always like wanted to get more into like the war, like making money off of war. I never got that.
Yeah.
Right. So I started listening to a book. It's called War is a Racket.
Yeah.
And have you heard of it?
Yes.
I started listening, and I was working and while I was listening to the book, and I was like, no, this is something that I need to pay attention to, because this guy was just saying $100 billion went into this, $100 billion went into that, and they're a senator, and they're this, they're that, and I was just, OMG, dude. Usually I get kind of like weirded out, like when I hear stuff like that, because it's just, this stuff is happening, and it's been happening for a very long time, and the average person doesn't know.
You should read. I mean, I love a lot of, like, I guess, conspiracy theory type.
But that's not a conspiracy.
No,
this is true.
But people will quickly label you like that. But there's a really good book about the CIA called The Devil's Chessboard. It's about the Dulles brothers and like how
Can you pull that up?
How they were probably involved in the assassination of Kennedy. Like, there's just a lot. Like, ever since World War II, man, like, there's been a lot. The Devil's Chessboard.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but ever since World War II, man, there's just been a lot of, like, weird and nefarious things that our government has done to stay in power, to take on what was formerly the Soviet Union, you know, like, it's dirty, and we wasted a lot of money. Like, even the other day, like, when Iran bombed Qatar at that American base, they were saying it cost us $75 million to defend versus their $2 million. So we do that every day. We'll definitely not be like, we won't have shit here. Our nurses are going to be even crazier. Imagine like the type of nurses they'll be hiring if we don't have any money to pay them. We'll be nurses, the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh no.
We'll nurse on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, Dad would be good content, actually. We should be that's as it breaks down, we're just going to go from comedy to becoming nurses back into making content.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll kick those nurses' ass that are making content now, because you already make content. So you're like, I know I'll fuck these guys.
I think the coolest thing about, if I was a nurse, I'd probably give myself IV drip every day.
You wouldn't do that thing like, was it that movie Scanners, where they would like kill themselves and like bring themselves back with the chest thing?
Flatline.
Flatline.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that movie is awesome.
You should do that. I feel like I would want to fuck with that. Like, what's it feel like to get fucking
I'm pretty sure it's like something like a psychedelic experience.
That'd
for
be
sure.
Cool. Or it's like, you know how like in high school they'd be like, you want to do the choking game, and they like choke you out till you passed out. It'd be like that.
My mom talks about that. Remember I told you?
No, what did she say?
Your mom played the choking game?
She choked Amber to sleep.
No. They were young, and she says that they used to say like they used to sit, not at school, but like at home or wherever, and that they used to sit around in the circle, and then they used to be like, ¿Quieres ver a Dios? Do you want to see God? Like that's what they used to say. And then she said they used to grab a towel and put it around their neck. And
do you want to
put
see
it
God
until you passed out?
Oh, damn. That's like,
yeah, I was like, what the hell?
That's dark. Do you want to see God?
Yeah, these are dark ass games. Like, see, this is what Latino culture is about, guys. White people hate us. We play Do You Want to See God?
What, how do you say it in Spanish?
¿Quieres ver a Dios?
¿Quieres ver Dios?
You want to see God?
You want to see God?
Yeah. That's so that's the Mexican choking game. I learned a lot today, so that's that.
The Devil's Chessboard.
Read that book, dude.
Yeah.
Read that book next. It's good.
I can, dude. I can. I can, but I get too invested in things. I don't like doing much.
Are you gonna start investigating the Kennedy assassination, dude? We need a comedian to figure that out.
I know.
Don't let it be Joe Rogan, dude. Don't let like Tim Dillon do it. Like, you should do it, Gil.
I should
go down to Texas.
No, I don't want to go to Texas.
But you have to. I mean,
Dallas.
Yeah, you gotta go to Dallas. Dude.
I want to go to the White House.
What?
That's my thing. I want to go to the White House.
For what?
I to investigate. I'm pretty sure that there's like rooms in there that has like different things.
You think they do the choking game in one of the rooms?
I hope so.
I'll do the choking. No, never mind. can't say that.
No, everything here is just jokes.
It's
just
hypothetical.
This is all parody.
Parody.
Yeah.
We're just joking.
Absolutely.
I would go to the. I mean, I feel like it would have been cool to go to the White House when like the sports teams won and they brought all the McDonald's and like the you remember like during Trump's first thing and like he brought all the I think it was the college football guys that won and he brought like they had like a big table and it was like Wendy's shit, Burger King stuff, McDonald's stuff. Like it was like a buffet. But then they said in order for them to get it all through the White House, like they had to bring it in hours earlier. So it was like all lukewarm. So I would love to have watched dudes just like guys that are used to eating well. Cause like they're major college, but like they're playing at an A1 at a D1 school. And now you're eating like a lukewarm McChicken.
That is not good. Hot mayo.
Oh, dude.
The reason why I like looking into stuff, dude, is you learn a little bit more. Like for a very long time, I was like a couple years back, I told myself I'm gonna get into baseball. I'm gonna get into the Dodgers. And when I was a fan for about 2 years, and then I heard about the Chavez Ravine and that, right? And I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna support that, right? And recently, right, Amber? Recently, we did a little bit more of a deep dive into research, and I thought I thought it was they knocked down the Chavez Ravine and all those houses to put in Dodger Stadium. That's not what happened. What happened was, right, Amber? I'm trying to remember. Maybe you can help me out with this. They wanted, or redlining happened, right, in that area of LA. And they wanted to knock down that neighborhood to build public housing.
Oh.
And they got the okay through the mayor to do the public housing. So they knocked most of the houses down in that neighborhood to build a public housing. But then as that project was going to get started, the mayor who initially okayed that, he ended up losing the office of mayor, and a new guy came in and scrapped that whole public housing because he thought it was too socialist. He why we're going to put money into that? That's communistic. We're not going to do that. And this is back in like the 50s when the Red Scare was going on. People were demonizing communists and they thought they were spies in the United States. So he knocked that program down, and the new mayor wanted to. What was he going to put before the
housing?
No, I know, but after that, he didn't like the housing because he thought it was too communistic and too much of a socialistic thing to do in that area. Anyways, but so there was open land, and I heard the Dodgers, they were looking for a new place, right? That's what he was saying. So the Dodgers moved from, I think it was like 1962, I think. That's when they announced that they were going to do the Dodger Stadium. So for a very long time, I thought it was because of Dodger Stadium that they knocked down all the houses. But what was kind of messed up was that there were still a couple of houses in the neighborhoods, and I'm probably sure you've seen some of those pictures. And there's even video of the people not wanting to leave and the police going in there. I thought that was most of the houses, but it was only a couple.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I kind of like built this whole like resentment against it, because I thought that was with everybody, but it wasn't really like that. That's not how it went down. So I learned that like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's not, that wasn't the initial thought behind taking the Chavez Ravine out.
Yeah. Did you become a Dodgers fan?
A little bit.
And then did you get disappointed when they didn't release a statement on ice?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like back at
I went
just
back.
a week you're in and like,
Yeah. Did they release?
I'm still angry. Even
Oh, they donated some money, right?
just a measly million.
yeah, $1
dude.
million that they probably make more.
They make
of that.
4
in a
per
day.
game.
Look,
Yeah,
look up to see how much.
Wait, I was gonna say something on touching base of like, yeah, you found out that okay, the Dodger Stadium wasn't gonna be there initially, but the fact that they thought that land where people were living was so insignificant. Even if they weren't going to put a stadium, even whatever, the fact that they were going to bulldoze it because they said, that's just Latino people living there. They don't need it. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they were going to do. It's the fact that
Sure.
they went to a Latino neighborhood to do that instead of going down to a white neighborhood that probably had land.
Yep.
No, they're going to go to the minorities that they think are less than.
Right.
They could have bulldozed and done nothing, but the fact that they went and they did that, like it's I think that's significant. And we've seen a couple interviews where people were saying like that a lot of them, this is their first home that they ever purchased.
Yeah.
So they were, they saved money. That was the start of their generational wealth.
Yeah.
And they got so lowballed of getting out of there that a lot of them, the majority of them, weren't able to go and buy a new home anywhere. So they had to go and restart and rent an apartment. And then their generational wealth ended very short-lived.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up. Like,
Yeah. No.
So it didn't matter if they did a shopping mall, whatever. It was a fact that they went and they pinpointed that community.
Yeah, I guess my focus was a little bit different. But for me, I thought
And I
that
still
that
say
was the
fuck
whole
the
thing.
Dodgers.
I'm right now. The fucking Dodgers fucking broke my heart, man. I'm fucking pissed at them. It's hard for me to like support these. Well, there were a lot of the fucking players are already like MAGA guys.
I noticed you don't have a Dodgers hat on.
I know, I haven't worn it
I've
lately.
never seen you without
You're
without
fucking
a.
hurting me, man. Like fucking.
No,
idiot.
it sucks.
I only Kike. Shout out to my fellow Boricua, Kike Hernandez, who is the only one who has spoken out against the fucking ICE raids in LA. He's a G.
Amber's seen it from a mile away when the Dodgers went to go visit.
No, but I knew, dude. Before that, like. Blake Trinan is a big QAnon guy.
Really?
Yeah, he was posting a lot of weird QAnon shit years ago.
That's still around.
Well, it was like he's been on the team since 2020. He had just been hurt for a long time.
Yeah.
And then Kershaw is like a hardcore Christian who got mad when they did the drag queen night. He was the one who threw a bitch fit, and then they like had to have family and faith night after that.
Oh my God.
So your guys is choking Clayton Kershaw, who sucks, by the way. I fucking hate Clayton Kershaw. The fucking most overrated, sorry ass Dodger with his loser ass hunch. Every time he gives up a home run in the fucking playoffs to some fat fucking white guy, he's a fucking sucks. I hate him. Always been a loser. I just want to tell you. What Clayton? You don't know what Clayton
Pull him
Kershaw
up.
is? He's like the most he's like the white guy that everybody loves on the Dodgers.
I didn't grow up in a Dodger family.
Oh, okay, but
So I don't know shit.
he is a fucking loser, and he's only got rings because the other guys, because of Walker Buehler last year, because he would have never done what Buehler did. He's a fucking loser and a fucking weird hardcore Christian dude. Then like some of the other dudes are just like that.
I knew that's what he looked
Yeah,
like.
all these dudes are just like, again, like the team. That's what fucks me up with the Dodgers, man. I love the Dodgers, but the way they assembled this roster, a bunch of Christian, like hardcore Christian dudes, and then after October 7th,
They're not even like Angelinos, huh?
no, none of them are real. I mean, there's like really in professional baseball, there's very few guys that are like
Native to
but I mean, there's a lot of players that come into Southern California, but not on the Dodgers really. But the Dodgers after October 7th, when Israel was attacked by Hamas or whatever the shit, they came out and released a statement. So like people were like, they don't get political. Yes, they fucking do. And then they visited Trump at the White House. Like they get political, and they're just such a disappointment. Them and the Lakers.
I hate when people say like, oh, don't make baseball political. Don't make like, oh, it's one thing that we love, the pastime. But it's like you're choosing like apples to apples. Like people are picking and choosing what they can deem as correct and not. And that's why I feel like my like Gilbert will say sometimes like, you don't, because he'll be like, oh, who's your crush, or oh, who's your celebrity crush, or who do you like, and I've never been like that. I don't know why, but even now I'm just like, good, because I feel like, and I get it, some of us want community, and because we had this conversation, that's what Gilbert said, because I was like, how do people pay like their entire life? There's people that their personality is the Dodgers, like their home is Dodgers,
I know.
Their car, their flags, everything is the Dodgers, and I'm just like, how do you pour your heart, your soul, your entire being into a team that doesn't even fucking know you exist? Like,
that's why I never
how?
even. Yeah, that's why I love the Dodgers. I love sports, and I like support the LA team. The Kings are also a disappointment, by the way, but just that's the only other hat I have. But I was never like, that's the same shit. Like I feel about like dudes who fight over sports teams, where I'm like, I would never. I love like the teams I support, but I would never get into a fight over them, because I'm like, I'm not on the payroll to like. I'm not gonna get beat. Like one that, and then the two, if the players saw you, they'd be embarrassed. They'd be like, well, who would fight? Or like they don't fight each other. Like they're all friends. Like it's crazy. So that's how it's no fighting for sports teams.
Let's see how insignificant this $1 million is compared to what the Dodgers make on a single game. Or just pull it up a year. How much do they make in a year?
I heard they made $3 to $4 million a game.
A game? Yeah. So this is that's chump change.
So they gave 25% of one game as a win, and then it was.
And how many games do they have in a year?
162 during the regular season.
162
plus playoffs. So, but what's crazy
and
is
that's not even accounting for merch.
Yeah,
that's not accounting for whatever they make on I don't know, extra revenue on like concessions or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like it's
streaming services. Probably MLB doesn't give them anything. But
they do $4.29 million in ticket revenue per game
per home game.
Oh my god!
So like that's like just one, not even like what they do in ticket sales. So like that, and then again, they did a really vague thing where they're like, we're just going to give it to support immigration family. They didn't really say like we're going to hire a lawyer. We're going to give it to like a legal fund.
Yeah.
Or like they just were very vague about where that money goes. So. Where that million ended up, I would say like in the pockets of like some like Red Cross type people, where it's like all the overhead goes to them, and then they'll give out like $1.
See, and that's something that I liked. Here in our city, we've been going out and advocating for our city to do things, because I don't know if you know, but we have the DHS office here in Paramount.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know. And they've been here since 2017.
Damn.
Literally in our backyard. Because I used to live, my parents' house is right there, and it's literally
less than a mile from here, in this place.
Yeah.
There's an office.
Down this way?
Down Paramount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alondra. Yeah.
Okay. Alondra, before you know where the Home Depot is?
Yeah.
Right across from
the street.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that's why they've been raiding there. Yeah.
So that's why when things popped off, that, what was it, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It started here because I guess they have warehouses there. So whoever owns those buildings are renting to the federal government. But what we were told was that that back in 2017, they rented those offices from the owners of those warehouses, but only as they were going to be for the ports. So from 2017 to now, they were only strictly working because the Port of Long Beach is close by, like 15 minutes from here. So those were their offices. So that's why there was nothing happening.
Yeah.
But with this new administration and everything that they're doing, they lumped every single Border Patrol, every single, like, everything became one.
Yeah.
So now, because it's in Southeast LA, it's a close hub for them to store, their non-lethal, like guns, cars.
That's where they're staging.
So that's where they're staging everything, and we had no idea. So the day that you didn't know this?
No.
So the day that things went off, it was in the morning. We were here, huh? We were here. We have meetings every Saturday here, and we kept hearing like police, and we're like, what the heck is happening? So what we found out that happened was,
well, you seen a video right before our meeting was gonna start, and then you're like, oh shit, like
something's happening.
Yeah, something's happening. I think ICE is here, right?
Yeah. So what happened is that before you get to those warehouses that are there, I forget about my camera. Before you get to the warehouses that are there, there's a light, right? So there's like a stoplight, and you can either go up to the bridge over to Compton or get the 710 or make a left to go into Home Depot.
Yeah.
So people were stopped. It was like 9 a.m. People were stopped at that light, either going to Home Depot or crossing the bridge. And they said that all of a sudden they were at the red light, and then all of a sudden a cop car came and stopped them from proceeding once the green light went. And that everybody's like, okay, like this is weird. So then people started seeing ICE vehicles like in a line going into those warehouses. So people were like, what the heck is happening?
It's all that food. It's that food distribution on Garfield too, like that.
Yeah,
there's
back there. Yeah, but their main office is like here, which is in the Southeast LA. So then people started recording, because obviously, I mean, if you see over 20, ICE vehicles, you're gonna be like, what the heck is going on? So people started recording, and they said that the ICE agents started seeing people recording, and they started throwing the flash bombs.
Yeah.
So that it would supposedly cause a diversion and people could stop recording, and then smoke bombs.
Yeah.
Well, one of the smoke bombs was thrown into a car of this lady and her daughter.
Oh my God.
So the lady had her windows down, and they threw the gas bomb through it, and it landed inside her car. So it popped inside the vehicle with the underage. I think the little girl was like 12, and then the mom was in there. So obviously people that are stopped and coming see this, so that everybody starts getting off their cars. The ladies, like her and the little girl, are like,
choking
and everything, and
freaking
people
out. Yeah.
So then they start throwing more gas bombs at everybody, and then they hear grab everybody that's recording. So all these agents start running into the crowd, and they start like literally like face planting people that were recording with cell phones.
Fuck?
So then that's where,
which is all legal, by the way.
So that's where everything started.
Yeah.
And that's why people got off, people got angry. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, they shouldn't be throwing rocks at cars, they shouldn't be this, but that was like, everybody was minding their business.
All these motherfuckers that are always calling for civility from protesters make me sick, because like they'll be like, oh, optics, civility, but then they're not saying shit while these motherfucking Gestapo people just come and crack your skull, get you on trumped up charges. It's all bullshit. You see it on fucking videotape and they deny it. And these fucking morons that are like, that's not real. Like, oh, I don't know if that's real. Like, oh, until it happens to their dumb ass. Like, until their fucking skull gets cracked by some dipshit fucking loser that can't even be a goddamn cop, because that's all these motherfuckers are. They're fucking losers. And it's bullshit, dude. I fucking hate it. And I'm sick of all these motherfuckers who demand civility from us when we're being attacked every day. They dehumanize you. They fucking show you no respect. There's no, like, civility is bullshit. Like they don't, like, there's too many quotes about why civility and protesting is bullshit. All these stupid motherfuckers just don't get it. And like, again, when their skull gets cracked and some bullshit like that happens, they'll be crying, and it's hard to give them sympathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Hey, did they ever pass that law for ICE agents to wear a mask?
No, that's another thing. Like these fucking Democrats keep crying and acting like they're doing performative shit, because like to pass it, like a lot, they've been in California now for almost this whole. Today's the 28th, and they have not passed any law to fucking do anything. They're not using the local law enforcement to come up and like check to see if these guys are actually real agents or just like private eyes and all that shit, bounty hunters like they're saying. So to me, the cops are fucking worthless. Here in Downey, the local government, half Republican, half Democrat. The Republican, all the Trump voters are all quiet. Like the lady Claudia Fermenta, who's the city councilwoman, you can't even like post a comment on her IG because she's got everything locked up. The other guys are just like acting like they're doing stuff. They're posting all those resources that like, here's what to do if like for like shit that a fucking blog influencers posting. That's what our government is doing. They're doing like photo. Like I saw another city councilman member of mine do a fucking podcast yesterday with a lawyer she doesn't have a big following. So she's like, I would get like, oh, it's Sweet James or somebody big. Like,
Sweet James.
Yeah, somebody with a big following at least. But
Yeah.
like, it's some shitty lawyer that she's like got like she's got like 5,000 followers on Instagram. Like, why is he doing that? And it's like, instead of making the like local police officers come over, try to identify these cops, all they've done is harass protesters. It's pathetic to see what like the Democrats are doing here. It's sad.
And I remembered with you saying that why I told you the whole story of what happened is because we've been going to like the city hall meetings to kind of say, hey, like we want ICE out of our city. We want, so we've been going. And to make a long story short, like the city is giving money to this like thing, right, of like helping immigrant families and things like that. And one thing that somebody said, which he lives in the city, and I like that he said that. He's like, I hope that the funds that you guys are allocating for this, he goes, is actually going into our community and actually going to our people.
Yeah.
He said, because this whole like, Zoom meet with someone that's going to tell you how to, like, pretty much like saying like, don't put all your money into these Zoom meetings or these like informational things of like, oh, come and meet at so-and-so place to learn your rights. And it's like, the probability of people coming to that is not very big. Like, people are scared. People are not coming out. Like, why waste your resources? Like, that's great to be educated, but I also think it needs to be pumped into the people. Like, what about like the people that aren't going to work?
Yeah.
What are they going to do on the 1st?
That's what, I would like to see the local Southeast LA, like all these businesses, especially a lot of Latino owned businesses that hire undocumented workers and exploit them every day, like these car washes, these places, they know they're undocumented. I want to see them step up and start paying their salaries, start paying for their legal fees, and start supporting the community. They're attacking all of us. We should go on a general strike. How about we shut everything down? They're attacking all of us. We shut down until they realize how important the Latino dollar is, because they use our money, they use our labor, they take everything from us, and then they want to just also beat the shit out of us every day.
Slavery, dude.
Yeah, man, it's hard.
Modern
It sucks.
slavery.
It
Modern
sucks.
slavery, dude.
I hope I hope we've made the most optimistic episode on your guys' return. Like, these are the dark times, but honestly, this
is what this is for, because we need to talk about this stuff, because there's a lot of we're seeing this stuff every day, and it I think me and Emma were talking about it. I was just so frustrated last week, like just with a lot of things going on, and then there's really no time to really talk about stuff that's happening, to let it all out, because there's stuff happening, like I said earlier, every single week, and I feel like it's just getting worse.
Yeah, no, it's hard, and then sometimes
I feel like an old guy, dude. Like I never thought I was gonna be that rambling guy
You sound like angry
I can't believe the president, the government, blah blah blah. But that's what's happening.
I'm old and I'll own that shit. So I'm never like,
I can't believe I'm that person now.
I'm 42 years old. I don't fucking lie about like, I'm not trying to be one of these comics. I'm like, I'm 30, like fucking Matt Rife, and he's old as shit. Like, no, I'm not. Like, I keep it real. As like, like, I'll still open for you, Matt. Like, call me. But like, I keep it real. Like, but it's just weird. Like, I hang out with a lot of creative people who are like, they're funny, they're very smart. I know because I talk to them, but like, they have fucking zero fucking like curiosity about what's going on. Maybe because they don't live in this area. I get it, because like I know you guys are here in Paramount, and I'm in Downey, and for the last 2 weeks, it's just been like a goddamn nightmare there where like my community does not feel anywhere close to what normally is.
This doesn't happen here.
No, and
Doesn't happen here.
I could only like compare it to COVID because it's like
Yes.
COVID if it only affected Latinos because like
Yeah.
I was out in Hollywood last week and I was just walking around like getting back to my car and people were just like fucking drinking, having fun, white people, and they were like having a nice little time but I would watch like the dudes who were the valet guys, like they were like sitting on the street like just kind of like going like this, like watching the street. Like
it sucks you have to be like
It's
that now.
dystopian. It's dystopian.
Yeah, and then I go into like the Latino, like East LA's dead. I've been like I said, been doing this, trying to pay vendors out. I've been driving around all these areas, going to South Central. I still call it South Central, guys, because I grew up here. And going through South LA, like all of this like area down here, Paramount, Linwood, Compton, like it's so dead. Like everything that makes our city, like I don't hear like corridos out there. Like even when I walk like around Downey, I'll hear like on Father's Day, like I would hear people having parties and stuff, but it was all in their backyard. Like nobody was out in the front yard, and you go like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
Even last night, after the party, like I was walking back, or after the show we did in Downey, I was walking back to my car, and I could hear 2 family parties nearby. But there, like I saw one was in the backyard, and I like walked by, like nobody was out there, and it's not like that, bro. Like my neighborhood would like people would be throwing parties till the like neighbors got singing like, "All right, I'm finally gonna call the cops on you. It's 5 a.m., bro. Chill out. Like, stop shooting fireworks. All right." Like, that's how it usually would be. And like now, it's like ghost town. Bro.
And it's not. I've learned because I live with a lot of anger, and it's not that I'm angry. I'm passionate, right?
Yeah.
And I think that we do have to have some kind of anger. It's okay to be angry at these times, and for us to be like, oh, I don't want to get angry. Oh, I don't want it to completely take over me. But it's about feeling your feelings and being angry. But what are you going to do to channel that anger?
Exactly.
And what you're doing and helping the community, that's channeling your anger because you're actually being proactive in a sense. And that's how I feel about like us, like, yeah, we've been out protesting. We're going to the city hall. We're trying to be active within our city because a lot of times, when people were protesting, I was like, oh, I want to go to LA, and then I thought, why am I going to go to LA if LA is not my like immediate hub? Like
100%.
Like I need to protect my city. I need to protect the people that I interact with daily. You know, and it's like it's okay to be angry, especially now, like. And then it also feels like I feel guilty sometimes for like even yesterday when I went out to dinner with my friends, like I felt like, oh, I should punish myself and not go anywhere because this is happening and this is happening. And it's
you want punishment? I should have took you to the show that we did last night.
You should have done comedy with it.
It takes a toll on you of like where we're at now as Latinos and living within our community being targeted. It's like, it's a push and pull. Like where am I? Like should I be out here advocating, or is it okay for me to go and have a little bit of fun? Like it's crazy. It's a little dystopian, but I think that we do need to be angry.
No, and I like I said, thank you guys for doing what you're doing too, because you're out here advocating and fighting. But like I honestly just feel like a lot of comics and people in entertainment don't want to piss off people and lose a job. And in stand-up, there's so many goddamn right-wingers that are in positions of power. Let's fucking be honest, guys. Fucking look at your friends and be honest with yourself. They're kind of right-wing. But, like, that's where people don't want to speak out. And they don't want to be seen as, oh, that's too woke. You're too woke. And I even see people kind of, like, trying to justify, like, I'm not just being woke. I'm just, I'm just trying to, like, but...
You know what, dude? You know what gets me? And we'll one more thing, and then we got to get out of here. But... Okay, so I get it. As a comic, right? You don't want to put your views out there on Instagram because you just said what you're saying. Like, oh, comics they're not talking about it. They're not. I mean, maybe they are talking about it in their stand up, but like on social media where everything is seen on social media, right? And we whatever you put on your social media, people are gonna I guess they're gonna see it as you as a person or whatever, as a comic. But I don't know. There was a post the other day about like I don't want to talk about politics and this and that, but I'm supporting. I support like what's going on and stuff. And it's just like that doesn't. And this person was a Mexican dude too, and I just don't understand how, like, sure, being a comic is your maybe I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but what I'm trying to say is like that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me because, like, who cares? Like, why does it matter? Why does it matter for people to see on your Instagram to know who you are? Yeah. Isn't that why you go on stage to make people laugh, to show them that you're a real human being and trying to entertain people? You can entertain people and still be true to who you are and who and what you support and what you don't support. Like, I get it. Like, I say this all the time. As a comedian, you stay in you centralize yourself right in between the right and the left. For me, what I say is I like to stay center and make fun of everything. But there's a line to where what you support and what you don't support. Like, right? There's you on stage. And there's a person off the stage, and I don't know. So I guess some people portray it differently on their social media or whatever. But that just it pisses me off, dude. Like, you can't be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I do shows all over LA. I've been doing shit in San Diego lately, and I know I do a lot of Orange County comedy, which is everybody in LA is like, it's so conservative, and I probably do make conservative people laugh because I don't necessarily just constantly talk about my politics, but when they do follow me and even if they really like pay attention to my jokes, like, my politics are in there. It's not like they're not so buried, and then when they. Like, I know, like, lately, like, I've been getting a lot of followers, and they'll, like, see my politics, and they'll unfollow me quickly, but I'm like, dude, that's what, like, that's who I am. I'm not going to fucking change, and I don't like those people who are like, well, I'm trying to, like, that old Michael Jordan, I don't even know if it's a real quote, but he's like, I sell shoes to both Republicans and Democrats because they buy shoes or whatever.
You're going to piss somebody off, regardless.
Doing, like, whenever you show your viewpoint in something, people are not going to agree with it.
Who cares?
That's part of, like, just art in all type. Like, how many people hate fucking, like, music that, like, how many people hate, like, Led Zeppelin, you know, or they're like, Led Zeppelin sucks, or like whatever, you know, bands that are like good or like, you know, like maybe not objectively good, but like enough people have gone and said, like, I like this band, or good, and that's, I don't worry about like losing fans or even, you know, like not being able, if people were not going to book me or like hire me on the staff, they weren't going to do it because of my politics.
Yeah,
why hire me?
Why would you even keep people like that around you anyways if they don't really know the true person that you are? Like, why would you keep somebody around? That doesn't make sense.
And then at the end of the day, if you're faking that all the time and you really have these beliefs, it's so hard to be, or like, you're just like walking on eggshells constantly, where you have to be fake and like, if I say something I offend this guy, now I'm not going to go on the road with him because he's a hardcore Republican. I'd rather not have to work like with that person, you know?
I think, of course, as a comedian, you shouldn't care, right? You shouldn't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
And also, who cares if you're being yourself? That's staying true to who you are is also saying that I don't care.
Yeah.
Because you're being yourself, and you're like, I don't care, I'm being myself. So fuck everybody else.
And I mean, that goes to like, I maybe circles back to like us, like we're talking about open micers using slurs because people are just like, I'm just being me, like on stage. But there's also like a way to get your point of view across, having it still be who you are, but understanding like, I'm trying to. The objective of comedy is always to make the audience laugh.
Yes.
So like that's that's what you're there for. So
Right.
it's not necessarily like I'm just going to inject opinions into you and just like see where it goes. But I feel like I don't know. It's like it's towing that line. Is like, is it funny versus am I just telling you my thoughts? Because that's what I look to. Because I don't want to just go in there and just start lecturing people. That's not what comedy's for.
No.
Unless you want me to lecture you, like you need some weird like. Fucking like with those like people who like to get financially domed.
Oh my god, I was just talking about that last night with my friends.
I can dom people with opinions if they want. Like if they want to reach out into DMs, we can work something out.
Hit him up.
We gotta have you back so we can talk about that financial
Jerry.
dom.
Jerry, this was freaking phenomenal, dude. Man, thanks for coming and doing this.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Amber.
Tell us where we can find you and what you got coming up.
Right now, I'm honestly just trying to help out the vendors. If you want to donate, go to my Venmo. Cash App is Jerry is Meh, and my social media, TikTok, Instagram, same thing, JerryIsmeh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to click on that. Jerry Hernandez has a article out right now on LA Taco about all the cool stuff that he's doing right now. He's by the time next week he's going to be raising $5,000 for vendors all across Los Angeles. He is doing awesome things. He's also a comedian. He runs a great room in Long Beach. When's your next show?
It'll be in July. El Barrio Cantina. Shout out to them. It should be hopefully July 14th on a Monday, but it's always on a Monday. Just follow me on Instagram and you'll see the you'll see the flyers.
Yeah. That's Jerry Hernandez, dude. This was awesome. Amber, do we have anything coming up?
No.
No, we don't. I don't have anything, but if you're looking to book somebody, hit me up. Find Mind Buzz Media on YouTube at Mind Buzz Media. Follow the Mind Buzz on Instagram. We have moved to the beautiful city of Paramount. We are also looking for new sponsors at the moment in the city of Paramount. We want to hook up with small businesses that we believe in 100%. So
come on, Tams.
Yeah.
oh, that'd be awesome, dude. I got this nice beautiful brand new wall behind me that needs a Tams logo. It could be a Tams neon, a Tams
That'd
sign.
be sick, dude.
A Tams neon?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But, Jerry, thanks for coming on and doing this. I had fun, man. Thank you.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Love you guys.
The Mind Buzz Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Mind Buzz podcast. Subscribe to the Mind Buzz YouTube channel and watch full podcast episodes. Keep up with the hosts, guests, and upcoming events by following the Mind Buzz on Instagram at the Mind Buzz. See you on the next one.